want to acknowledge these partners. And at this point, I'd like to give them a chance for them to deliver a brief message for this conference. Thank you.
Professor Justice Mbaye, the Vice Chancellor for the Catholic University of Eastern Africa, Monsignor Dr. Francis Obiora Ike, the Executive Director for the GlobalEthics.net Foundation, the guest trainers, Professor Nyaigoti Chacha, Chairman of the Commission for the University Education, the Deputy Vice Chancellors present, and all protocol observed. I stand here representing AMECEA, and AMECEA stands for Association of Member Episcopal Conferences in Eastern Africa. It's a regional secretariat that governs 8 conferences in this part of Eastern Africa. And I'm representing the Secretary General, Father Ferdinand Lugonzo, who requested me to be here on his behalf because he is engaged with some activities. I would like to thank, first of all, the whole management team that has organized this important training workshop. And as I noted from the invitation letter sent to us, the workshop is aimed at training trainers in integrating ethics in higher education for the top management teachers and other stakeholders. Now, we as a church do believe that ethics in higher education strengthens values-driven decisions. Ethics strengthens values-driven behavior. And ethics further strengthens values-driven actions, be it on the part of teachers, students, or leaders in any part of the society. Now, when I was given this opportunity to talk to the audience here, I first of all reflected on 3 major documents that the church has published in the recent past, giving guidance on what right education should embrace in society. And the first document that came to my mind was the Declaration on Christian Education. Written in Latin is Gravissimum Educationis. This document was proclaimed by His Holiness Pope Paul VI in 1965 on October 28. It came out as a result of the Ecumenical Council, the Second Vatican Council. You remember, during the Second Vatican Council, the church had to change the way of acting and behaving. And one of the documents that came out during that time was this one on Christian education. In the document, they stated that children and young people have a right to be motivated to appraise moral values with a right conscience. And I underline the word there, right conscience. Children must be motivated to appraise moral values with a right conscience. Consequently, the document also invites all those who are holding positions of public authority or who are in charge of education to see to it that all the youth are never deprived of this sacred right. So if you are in a position, whatever it may be, we ought to ensure that the youth are given the opportunity to have the right conscience. The second document that I referred to was the Populorum Progressio. Again, it's written in Latin, which means on the development of peoples. And this was the document written again by Pope Paul VI. It came 2 years after the Declaration on Christian Education, and this was in 1967. In this document, the Holy Father states that all humanity is called to lend a hand towards helping those in need. In fact, they're saying every development that takes place in society must be centered in uplifting the well-being of humanity. If education does not uplift the life of human beings, of individuals, that's not education at all. We can call it something else. And the third document that I referred to was fraternal humanism. The actual framing of it is educating to fraternal humanism, building a civilization of love 50 years after Populorum Progressio. This document was released by Pope Francis on 16th April 2017. At the heart of this document is the desire to humanize education in order to build a civilization of love. So Pope Francis, we know he's a Pope of joy, Pope of love. And for him, he says, if we do not humanize education and cultivate the aspect of love through this education, then it doesn't deserve to be education at all. A humanized education, therefore, does not just provide an educational service, the document says, but deals with its results in the overall context of the personal, moral, and social abilities of those who practice in the educational process. It further says, it does not simply ask the teacher to teach and the students to learn, but urges everybody to live, study, and act in accordance with the reasons of fraternal humanism. So you can see that the Holy Father feels that when a teacher has gone to class, he must have the students at heart. And the students must go there not just to pass exams, but must learn to shape their own lives so that their lives become better to shape the world. It is my understanding that this training, the training that we have gathered here for, certainly is going to achieve the basic ideals stated in the three documents. Firstly, I expect that our gathering is going to promote ethics in a way in which the participants will be empowered, transformed, and developed holistically to live, teach, and lead with integrity. I also expect that our gathering here is going to create a marketplace for exchange and learning of the latest academic developments, practical tools, and solutions to ethical issues in the higher education sector. I'm confident that during this training workshop, we will have the opportunity to share the expertise that is in here. And so we will manage to teach ethics in the various education sectors that we come from. I also expect that the members here will present the ideas or effective practice to other educational professionals and have the chance to make it relevant and applicable in many different contexts. I do believe that we're also going to use our gathering here to reconnect with our peers, friends, and potential partners and clients worldwide. Definitely, one needs, therefore, to humanize education, that is, to make it a process in which each person can develop his or her own deep-rooted attitudes and vocation, and thus contribute to his or her vocation within the community. With these remarks, I wish all of us gathered here very fruitful deliberations. May God bless the gathering.
As for me, I will serve the